These days the word camera relates more to a phone than to a camera itself. It's really important to have a decent camera for a phone to be successful. The MOTO G5 Plus is one such phone whose main selling point is the camera. It sports a 12 megapixel sensor and an f1.7 aperture lens with dual pixel autofocus. And let's see how the same performs. If this is the first video that you're watching in the channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, hey guys, I'm Abhi from TechXplicit. Let's get started. For a mobile camera to be the best, it has to have top specs like good sensor, lens with low aperture, good ISO levels, etc. However, I'm not going to discuss the technical aspects in this video. Instead, I'll review the output that is rendered by the G5 Plus. And towards the end of the video, I'll discuss the cons or drawbacks of the camera on the G5 Plus. Starting with the first one, in this photo we can see that the dynamic range is really good, and even though the photo had been clicked in bright sunlight, the sky is not exposed too much. Even if we zoom in the photo, the amount of detail that is captured is really adequate, and there is also some amount of sharpening that had been done to the image. The photo is clicked in auto mode, and the settings that are used by the phone are a shutter speed of 1/2500th of a second, aperture being 1.7, and the ISO is 50. Moving on to the next photo, I want to show the difference between the dynamic range that is captured in auto mode and with the HDR mode enabled. So the first photo is clicked with auto mode and the shutter speed is 1/1250th of a second and the aperture is 1.7, which is standard, and ISO is also the same like previous at 50. The settings for the HDR photo is also the same, but it has been processed and the dynamic range has been increased by the phone. Both the modes are decent, and the preference between a normal and a HDR enabled pic again differs from person to person. On the other hand, the situation with the video is nothing different in well-lit areas. The details captured are awesome with good dynamic range, and the thing that really impressed me the most is the stabilization in the video. My hands were really shaky while recording this video, but the output looks really steady. There is no phone in the same segment as the G5 Plus which can shoot such stabilized and rich videos. So any other shot or video that you're clicking in well-lit areas or outdoors in daytime, you can be confident enough that the result will be top-notch and there is no second thought about it. Now coming to the photos that are shot indoors and in dark conditions, output is decent. This photo is clicked in auto mode with normal lights in the room. Even when it is zoomed, the noise levels are acceptable and the details captured are pretty decent. The areas which are not focused have good bokeh effect, which enhances the beauty of the image. The settings for this image in auto mode are ISO, which is at 500, and shutter speed at 1/30th of a second. When the surroundings are really dark, in auto mode the ISO level is increased to add artificial light, and as we can see in the image, the ISO is bumped up to 2000, due to which the photo is noisy and there is a loss of detail as well. Having said that, the image is not bad, and as I mentioned earlier, in budget segment phones, this output is the best that I've seen so far. In fact, it performs a segment above. MOTO also provided professional mode, in which photos can be clicked by adjusting the settings manually. This photo is clicked in dark area with auto mode, and as a result, again the ISO is increased to 2000 to compensate for the low light, because of which there are high levels of noise in the photo. I have clicked the same photo in manual mode, setting the ISO at 400 and with a decreased shutter speed of 3/10th of a second, which resulted in lower noise levels. So if you want to play around with manual settings, G5 Plus is a sure thing. Video in poorly lit conditions is also average, but definitely better than other phones in the segment. The only con that I can find with the camera is the lack of optical image stabilization, because of which the photos clicked in dark places are sometimes shaky or blurry. However, the price at which the phone is available, one cannot complain. And obviously, as this is a budget segment phone, the costs had to be cut and MOTO had to compromise on some of the things. Having said that, the camera on the MOTO G5 Plus definitely exceeds the expectation from a budget phone, and no doubt it is the best in the segment. So anyone who's upgrading from a different phone in the same segment or a phone which is a segment below, you'll definitely be happy with the kind of performance that the camera on the G5 Plus provides. What are your thoughts on the camera? Feel free to pen them in the comment section, and as always, like and share the video. And do not forget to subscribe and click on that notify button to get updated as soon as a new video is live on TechXplicit. This is Abhi signing off. Have a good one.